Hey guys, how you doing? I hope you're all having a fantastic day. I'm sitting here in the great outdoors of Canada, finally enjoying some nice weather. I've got the campfire going and it's a little smoky. I'm 20 kilometers from the US border. What I like to do when I'm here is every now and then go across the border, because there's a beautiful little town just across the border where I am, where they have the best breakfast place. They make fantastic coffee and they make these amazing breakfasts. All you can eat, scrambled eggs and this funny potato hash thing that they do that I guess we don't do it in Canada. We don't do it like that. If I want to have one meal, if I can go there and have breakfast for like $7 US, and I am so freaking stuffed that I don't have to eat for the rest of the day. And they're so friendly and they're so pleasant. And I'm looking forward to finally being able to cross the border again, because most restrictions and travel restrictions have been dropped. We can now, I mean, there's still problems, but we are being told that you know, that we can go on with our lives now, and we are now free. Except all you hear on the news is that apparently on the news, Canada is entering its 7th wave, and experts are warning that we must be vigilant because I didn't even know we had a 5th and 6th wave. I'm talking about COVID for some of you that don't even know what I'm talking about. They're actually talking on the radio about a 7th wave. Now, traveling across our border, although some restrictions have been dropped, for example, in most provinces in Canada now, there are virtually no restrictions. There's no more mask mandates. There's no more, there isn't even a mandate to self-isolate or quarantine if you get COVID. Like if you get COVID now, they recommend that you should stay home, but you're not required to. Those mandates have been lifted. So if you've had, what are we up to, 4 vaccines? If you've had 4 vaccines and you test positive for COVID and you don't feel too bad, you're not breaking the law if you go to Walmart. That's where we've progressed to. But I was thinking about going for breakfast across the border into the US, and I just thought I'd check, is there anything, do I have to do? I'm just going to cross the border for a couple hours and then come back. And a story does pop up, a number of stories, one in particular, a couple from Montreal who diligently followed all the restrictions and followed all the advice of the government and experts, and isolated themselves for 2.25 years. Basically didn't go out, didn't interact with anyone, followed all the rules, and finally, now that restrictions were lifted, they decided to finally venture out. They live in Montreal and they wanted to cross the border into the US to somewhere near Pittsburgh, I think, to visit family, and they did that. And then when they came back, they went for one day, and when they drove across the border, they entered the US no problem. When they came back, they were met by a Canadian border official who, as they gave them their passport, let them know that they had not filled out the required ArriveCAN app. And they said, what? They didn't know. And apparently you have to fill out a ArriveCAN app. That is an app you download on your phone, or you can go on a computer and go to a website where you can enter information. And every Canadian who leaves the country, or anybody, anybody in the whole world who wants to come to Canada has to register, create an account, and enter information into what's called the ArriveCAN app. These people did not do that. And the penalty for not filling out information and not having information properly entered in the ArriveCAN app when you try and re-enter the country is a $5,000 fine, optionally, and mandatory 14-day quarantine. So this poor family from Montreal, who after 2.25 years decided to venture across the border to visit some friends, they left their home for 3 hours, went into the US and came back, were met by border officials who let them know that they had not filled out the ArriveCAN app properly, and they were now required to quarantine for 14 days. The poor man had to phone work and take 2 weeks off work. So apparently I have to fill out the ArriveCan app in order to cross the border and come back. Let's try. Okay, let's check out this new ArriveCan app. Here we go. Here we go. First on the list. Use ArriveCan to enter Canada. You must use ArriveCan to provide mandatory travel and public health information before and after your entry into Canada. What, before and after? What does that mean? ArriveCan is not only keeping travelers safe, but is part of our ongoing efforts to modernize our border. The government wants to keep this even after this pandemic is long gone. What is this? Okay, available for iOS. The mobile app is free and secure and is the official Government of Canada platform. You can download it. What? How would my parents know what to do? Google, get it on Google Play. Make sure you have the latest version of ArriveCan. Can I just do it online somewhere without having it on my phone? What if I just want to do it on a computer? Find out if you can travel, how to use. Oh, here we go. No smartphone or taking a short trip. All right. Within 72 hours of your arrival in Canada or before taking a short trip outside Canada, you can sign into ArriveCan from a computer. Okay, there you go. And get your ArriveCan receipt. Print your receipt and take it with you. You can also have someone submit your travel information on your behalf. Okay, so let's do it here. Sign into ArriveCan from a computer. No problem. Welcome to ArriveCan. Speed up your arrival process in Canada and spend less time with border and public health officials. This is speeding up my arrival process. Use ArriveCan to provide trip details and mandatory public health information. Yeah. ArriveCan now includes the Advance CBSA Declaration Form. I have no idea what that is. For travelers arriving at selected Canadian airports. Advance Declaration lets you make a customs and immigration declaration up to 72 hours in advance of flying into Canada. So despite what they told us that this was just to monitor vaccines and COVID, they're actually this app is being used for immigration declarations and customs declarations, and they want to expand this thing. They want to actually keep it in the future after COVID's not a thing anymore. Okay, let's just get started here. Oh my God, what is all this? All right, your personal information. If you are submitting information in the ArriveCan mobile app, the app may ask permission to use the device's camera to scan the machine-readable zone of your travel document. The app may ask permission to use your device's camera. The government's going to take control of your device and use its camera. You have the option of entering the data manually. ArriveCan does not retain an image of your travel document. You can revoke permission to use the camera. Oh, that'll be easy, right? Once you give permission to use your camera, that'll be go into settings, app, ArriveCan options, technical, ArriveCan options, technical camera, ArriveCan options, technical camera, camera usage. You click this icon, go into that menu. It'll be really easy. You can revoke permit. Yeah, come on. If you are submitting information on COVID-19 vaccines in ArriveCan, the app may ask for permission to upload your proof of vaccination. What do you mean may? I thought that's all this was for. What do you mean if you are submitting? Well, what else would I be why else would I use this other than to submit? It's mandatory to just for this information. The app may ask permission to upload your proof of vaccination documentation from your device's camera or local storage. So the app can basically browse your storage or use your camera. This is like Big Brother's watching you, right? That's what this app is all about, is the government spying on us. I guess is what it is. The personal information provided is governed in accordance to Privacy Act. Yeah, okay. It's governed in accordance with Government Act. Basically, they're spying on us, right? Is mandatory to provide as part of the Government of Canada's response. At this time, the relevant personal information bank may not yet reflect this activity. What? What does this even mean? How do, you know, you're supposed to just scroll down here and hit next, but if you read this stuff, does anyone even know what it means? The personal information provided is governed in accordance with the Privacy Act and is mandatory to provide as part of the Government of Canada's response to the COVID-19 pandemic. Okay, and the next sentence is, at this time, the relevant personal information bank may not yet reflect this activity. What does that even mean? This information is required in order for Public Health Agency of Canada to administer and enforce the Quarantine Act and the emergency orders made under it. I don't know what this sentence means. How your information is to be used. It's going to be used for public health follow-up, for monitoring and verifying compliance. Once persons have entered Canada, if mandatory information has not been provided when it is legally required, additional measures under the Quarantine Act may be applicable, such as a requirement to undergo health assessment. Individuals could also be charged with an offense for failing to provide the required information. Alternatively, enforcement authorities also have discretion to issue a ticket under the Contraventions Act. Okay, yeah, all right, let's just hit next. Okay. What is this now? Of course, we have to set up all right, create. If this is going to ask me for create a new account, email address. Okay, email address. Okay, of course. Here we go, guys. Here we go. Oh, my head already hurts. Your password must be at least 8 characters long, with an upper and a lowercase letter, a numeric digit, and a symbol. The government wants me to use it. It has to be 8 characters with an upper and a lowercase, a letter, an alphanumeric, a symbol, an exclamation mark, an at sign, you know, something that there's no hope in hell that I'll ever remember. And you shouldn't write it down because it's a password. Why do they care if it's 8 characters long or if it has an upper and a lowercase or a numeric digit or a symbol? Like what the? Can I use that? There. How's that? I can't use that as a password. Guys, this password wouldn't work. If I wanted to use that as my password, the government says I need to use a dollar sign, an asterisk, a bracket, or a question mark. This is one big freaking headache. One big freaking headache, guys. The form could not be submitted. 2 errors were found. Guys, 2 errors were found on so far. Fuck and you. What kind of convoluted shit is this? Can you imagine, guys? Can you imagine? Because I was thinking, I'm free now, but I guess I'm not. I was thinking that it would be great to get my parents out on a vacation again, right? To maybe book somewhere, a direct flight for them, and I would meet them and we'd go on a warm vacation this fall or this winter, now that all this nonsense is behind us. Can you imagine? I would have to try and help them to navigate this thing and create the account, do all this ArriveCAN stuff, but how could they possibly navigate that on their own? How could, like, I'm just thinking about my mom and dad. It would be ridiculous. Just recently, we tried to open a joint account. You know, my mom, my dad, myself, and my sister, where we could coordinate some financial stuff that get our financial stuff in order because they're getting older, and we had to open a new account. And I was opening the account. They're in another city, and then the bank rep that I was opening the account with required identification. They wanted a picture of everyone's passport or license, some form of ID. So I called my mom and I said, yeah, I need some ID from you guys. If you just take a picture of Dad's passport and your passport and send it to me, I'll just use that. And she said, oh, no problem, no problem. And a couple of hours went by, and then I got a message on my phone, a text message from my mom. I thought it was the photo of the passport. And what did I get? I got a 45-second video of my dad. This is the video. What? Hold it like this? He's holding his passport. No, hold it higher. Higher, to the left. You're covering your face. No, what are you doing? Put it down. Stand still. I can't get it in focus. What? What do you want me to do? Where do you want me to hold it? Just hold it forward. There? You want me to put it there? No, it's covering your face. Finally, he's holding his passport in his hand, and a 43-second video, she sends it to me. So what she doesn't know, right? She pressed the button on the iPad. The iPad's moving. She's got her thumb covering a little bit of the camera. So what I had to do is I had to watch this 45-second movie and just go frame by frame until I found one frame where the passport was not blurred and was being held fairly still, and I stopped it and I zoomed in and I took a screenshot of the passport so that I created my own picture. I got a 45-second video for my dad's and about a 32-second video for hers, because she doesn't know the difference between a picture and a video. It looks the same. It's the same icon. One has a little arrow, one doesn't. She doesn't know. How the hell would she upload different documents and things on an app? COVID vaccination status QR code. Please upload your QR code status. Found it. Like, how would she do it? It's impossible, right? So old people can't travel anymore, and in fact, in the condo where they live, one of the big things when they downsized from their house to the condo, one of the big reasons was there's a whole community of elderly people there, and they have so many activities and so many things that they do together. They were so looking forward to doing a lot of these things. For instance, one of the activities is they organize these bus tours where they're in the Toronto area, and they would like go to Buffalo for the day to go to a casino, or they would get on a bus and go to Niagara Falls or go to the American side and have a brunch, or they'd have these excursions, right? And those have, even though now restrictions have been removed, none of those are going forward, because can you imagine getting a bus load of 26 seniors? None of them have cell phones. Maybe one or two have cell phones. The one guy that has a cell phone, he's got it. Well, my son gave me the cell phone, and he said if I'm ever in trouble in the car, that I should go into, I think it's this one here, the one that says contacts or settings. I think there's a contact bubble, and I would have to ask someone to help me out, but somewhere in the contact bubble is his phone number, and if I press it, he doesn't know, right? He doesn't even know how to use the cell phone. How would you get a bus load of 30 seniors across the border back into our country? And can you imagine trying to get across the border patrol, trying to manage 30 ArriveCan apps? Like the government, we already have a secure, technologically advanced system that the whole world uses in order to regulate and monitor people's movements around the earth and crossing of international borders. It's called a passport. That's what we use. The whole country, the whole world uses passports. What the hell do we need an app for? What additional information does the app provide? I have a Canadian passport. We have a public health system. Every shot I've taken. You guys paid for it. The government pays for my health care. They have my name. They know who I am. They have my passport. Why do I need an app? You already know. What? It's just a complete, utter, a new level of bullshit. And apparently the health minister, the Canadian health minister, I can't even look at the guy. He's just a cross between a Muppet and a buffoon, has gone on record saying that this ArriveCan app is really state of the art, and he's considering, even after all pandemic uses are over, that we should keep this. It may have some very good use going forward. What use? You know what use. We want you to have an app in your pocket where we can track you and collect information from you. We want to big brother you and grind you down. But my God, I don't know when we're going to get back to normal, guys. I don't know when it's going to happen, but I'll tell you, visits from the US to Canada are down 50–60% from pre-pandemic levels. Americans are just saying, well, I'm not going. Americans that might come to a baseball game. You know, you live in Buffalo, you want to come and see the Toronto Blue Jays. Some Americans are Blue Jay fans. You want to cross the border, see the game and go back. Just getting in, they'd have to create an account and have an app and have a username and have a password and upload some documents. The US form of the document may not be the same as the Canadian form of the document. They may not have a thing to scan or upload or a compressed file. Oh my God. So they just say, screw it, you know, what a waste of time. So hopefully one day, common sense will prevail, but I don't know. Apparently the experts say we should be cautious. We are now entering the 7th wave. We'll see how that goes. Thank God I'm out here in the country. Just, I'm going to go fishing is what I'm going to do, guys. It's all about fishing. Marty's digging a hole. Marty, what are you doing? Why are you digging a hole? Hey, come here. Why are you digging a hole? Come here. Look, just because you're here, you have to dig holes? Do you want to go fishing? Come on, let's go. Say hi. Say hi. Over there. Yeah. I'll catch you guys on the next one.